Hey everybody, Mr. B here and welcome to the Loft. I've got another retro Southern classic for us today. We're going to be doing the soul food classic, smothered chicken. Let's go. First thing I want to do to get us started here is to go ahead and get my seasonings put together because I'm dealing with chicken. I'm gonna want to have this all in something that I can dip my fingers in versus touching chicken and then touching my stuff. So I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm going to use equal parts of everything and see where we come out, because we're also going to use the same seasoning, not only to season our chicken, but to also season the flour we're going to dredge in, which will ultimately also be used to form a roux for our gravy. So I'm going to start with, do a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, do a tablespoon of, or maybe just under, of some dried sage, tablespoon of dried thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, get a little bit of paprika going in here. This is going to provide some really great color as well as some smokiness. Salt and pepper, and we're just going to sort of combine all of this together and make our little seasoning. And the next thing I want to do is to start getting some stock going, okay? And I'm going to make about 3 cups of stock because I'm going to actually, maybe we do 4 just in case. Using better than bouillon. This stuff is so amazing. And you basically use it like a bouillon cube. I just think that it kind of tastes better here. You could also use stuff out of the jug. You could use homemade, it doesn't matter. You need 1 teaspoon per cup of water. And we're gonna get that going. And I'm just gonna bring this to right at a boil and reduce to simmer. I want to use warm stock for 2 reasons. When you are adding it to what will become the gravy that this stuff's going to cook in, what's my count? This is going to be 4. Okay. When you're adding it to gravy, you want it to, I personally kind of want it to be warm because it just seems to help the situation considerably, and you know, kind of helps prevent that gravy from seizing on you potentially. But also, we're gonna have rice with this. You can also serve this over mashed potatoes, but I digress, we're talking about stock. I'm gonna cook my rice in it with whatever's left from making the gravy. All right, in preparation here, I have sliced 1 medium-sized onion and about half a green bell pepper. The onion, I think, is definitely a requirement here, but the bell pepper, you know, I think is totally optional. I've seen people do like the whole Holy Trinity sort of thing with this, and you know, bell pepper, onion, and celery. And we're going to get our chicken ready now, because this starts to move pretty quick at a certain point. Be thinking ahead here a couple of steps. This is where I'm going to season my chicken. Then it's going to go and start browning off, and then that's going to need to come out and have somewhere to go, okay? So I just want to make sure that I've got stuff out and ready. I pulled my chicken out of the refrigerator about half hour ago or so, and that allows it to temper and kind of come up a little bit so that it just cooks better. Today I'm using some chicken legs. You see this a lot with chicken thighs. You can see this with the whole chicken. I am also have a couple of quarters that were in the freezer that we're gonna do. And then I am going to, with a paper towel, I'm going to dry these thoroughly, okay, before I season them. Give everything a flippy flip. And we do the same. Good and dry. Now let's season with our seasoning mix. Flip. When you're seasoning, try to come up high. You just get better coverage. And wash your hands. All right, let's start seasoning up some flour. So I'm going to, I don't know, guess with about 1.5 cups of flour or so. Okay, and we're gonna add some of our seasoning mix to that and just work to incorporate that up real good. There you have it. Before we dredge our chicken, we are going to get some oil heating up. I'm using just, I don't know, some vegetable oil here. You want enough to cover your pan, but also come up about 1/4 inch. And we're gonna get this coming up to heat and bread our chicken comme ça. All right, I want to test to see if my grease might be ready here. See that dance? I think that's where we're good to go. Now, we're going to just carefully drop these in. Put these quarters skin side down, because that's where you want to get your brownage. Awesome. Okay, this has been going about 4 minutes, so I just want to check it to see where my color is at. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. This color is flavor, y'all. Again, we're not going for an all the way done kind of situation here. We just want it colorful and start developing maybe a little bit of fond on the bottom of this pan as well, which is going to help our gravy considerably. Okay, now, first thing I'm gonna do, and something that can sustain some heat, is we're gonna pour off a considerable amount of this grease here, only leaving maybe about 3 to 4 tablespoons to cover. Just do not rush this. Keep your brown bits in there. And you're gonna want something to wipe this side with. Okay, and we're gonna put this back on the heat, but we're gonna lower it, right? This is gonna start going pretty quick. See this, we'll add our veg, and let's start getting this down. So this is helping get those brown bits up off the bottom of this pan. All that good schmaltz. You're gonna wanna bring these down to translucent. Once you've started getting, little, browning on the onions, you're not going all the way to caramelization, but you do want them soft. You're gonna take some of this seasoned flour that you've still got left over, or should, and you're gonna do this about 3 or 4 times. Let's see where that gets me. And then you got to move here. Get this flour starting to cook off. About a minute or 2. And then I'm going to ladle in a little bit of this chicken stock on over here. Get it going. Beautiful. Go hit this with some heavy cream. And I think we can go with a little more stock, being honest. This is going to be a braising liquid. I've got some of this seasoning still left. I'll just add a little bit of that to it. Hell, why not, right? Back goes in our chicken. Okay guys, my chicken has bubbled in this delicious gravy now for about 30 minutes. I did check it at 15 minutes in just to give it a turn to make sure that it's even coated. Rice is beautiful, which is interesting because I have a bad adversarial relationship with rice. We don't like each other, but let's plate. Now, whether or not you were doing this with mashed potatoes or like we are with rice, we are going to put a bed of that down onto our platter. Like that. Then get this chicken ready. Beautiful. Be there on one end. And then we are just going to spoon this delicious gravy over all of that nonsense. Then just at the end, let's hit it with some more fresh parsley for a little bit of color. And guys, there you have it. Southern style smothered chicken over rice, retro Southern classic. Y'all click like, share the video, subscribe, come along for the ride. We're gonna see you next time. You know what, let's just scrap the overview on it and let's just go straight into it.